Former Immigration Minister Philip Ruddock has defended his government's stance on asylum seekers after allegations that up to 20 Afghans rejected by Australia were killed after returning to their country. The claims, made in a documentary to be screened on SBS next month, have prompted the current Immigration Minister to seek more details about their removal.
He arrived on Nauru in late 2001, where his request for asylum was to be completed.
Azim was just one of the hundreds of asylum seekers who made the journey from Afghanistan, but after 18 months on the tiny Pacific island, his claim was rejected by the authorities.
The government told Azim Afghanistan was now safe and offered him a choice: $2,000 to return or stay in detention indefinitely.
Because he was worried about his family, he decided to return to Kabul. But 4 months later, his 2 daughters were killed in a grenade attack, believed to have been carried out by the Taliban. Azim is just one of the returnees tracked down by Phil Glendenning, and whose story is told in a documentary to be screened on SBS. Glendenning claims that up to 20 Afghans have died at the hands of the Taliban after they were rejected by Australia.
This is all his correspondence with the Australian bureaucrats. This is, you have not established that your fear is well founded. The implications of those decisions need to be recorded, and the Australian people need to hear it.
While the current government has called for an explanation of how their removal came about, the then Immigration Minister says he stands by the decisions that he made.
It was in a creditable process, and they voluntarily agreed to leave. And if people have lost their lives, one doesn't necessarily know that this is because they were particularly targeted because of who they were.
The filmmakers say that part of the refugee determination process should include some kind of follow-up. About 400 Afghans were rejected by the Howard government. Now many of them, like Mohammed Rizai, are in hiding.
I go over there illegally, yes?
Yes.
Not safe because there are Taliban.
It's very difficult to argue in relation to people who are not refugees and have failed to establish claims that we've got some responsibility to undertake some oversight abroad.
Sergei Pianella, World News Australia.
And you can see that documentary, A Well-Founded Fear, right here on SBS on November the 19th.